Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. Today it's going to be another battle using my historical units, and because I just made them, any old excuse for me to use my Japanese units I will take. So of course this is going to be another Japanese related battle, I suppose you could say, or at least the Japanese units are going to be in here. So what we've got here is we've got some Japanese units on this side, and we've got some English medieval units on this side, because why not, I suppose. So the medieval units here for the English, I've got some English men-at-arms. They've just got some spears, and they're making up the front row here. It's a 10x2 of men-at-arms. So they've got the infantry spears, and then behind them we have got another 10x2 of English knights. Not sure how well this guy's going to do, but he is T-posing on them, so he's asserting his dominance. But yes, we got them. On the flanks of the English, we've got some medieval English flailmen who are here. They've just got smaller circular shields, and of course their single-balled flail. And then behind them we have got another 4x2 of knights as well. So we've got an entire back row which is just filled with knights, and then the front row is split. And then behind them we've got some English and Welsh longbowmen, backing them up. And then right back here we've got the English king. Here he is, all decked up in his armour, and then we've got some medieval crusaders with him as well, because if any medieval army was going to try and beat up the Japanese, it would be the English. Of course it would. I mean, they conquered a fifth of the world, so of course they were bound to be get to Japan at some point. And then on the Japanese side here I have got a 15. I think this is a 15x2 of spear Ashigani, or Yuri Ashigani, I think they are. But yeah, they're the Japanese foot soldiers. They're here with their conical hats, and they've just got some two-handed spears, and they're making up the front row here. And then behind them we have got some katana samurai. These blokes here, they're going to be having fun as the second row Japanese troops. And then on the flanks here I have got some, and I can never pronounce the name of these guys. There you go, Yuri Ashigaru are these guys here. Sorry, that's what I should be saying. And then yeah, for here we have got some Naginata samurai. That's it, Naginata samurai, and that's Naginata because of the weapon. It looks like a guandao, but it's not. It's the Japanese version of it, but of course we don't have that in tab, so just imagine that these guandaos are the Naginani. But yeah, they're being wielded by samurai, and I do believe that samurai mostly wore masks along with their helmets, so they've got these helmets here with the mask built in. And then behind them we have got some matchlock Ashigaru. Yeah, haven't used these guys in a battle before. They're not going to be terribly effective. They're actually going to be pretty useless. But I might as well have some fun with them. They've got a 50% reload penalty and I think an 80% damage penalty, I think. So yeah, they're not that great. They do have a katana on their back, but of course this isn't Total War. This is Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, so they can't use it. But yeah, they have got their matchlock rifles, and they're just on the flanks being protected by these couple of samurai. And then right at the back here we have got the shogun, along with 4 kanabo wielding samurai. These guys here with the spiky clubs. And then we've got some of these guys. These guys are Sohei, I think they are. Sohei rather, and they're Buddhist monks. They're warrior Buddhist monks, I do believe. Decked out in samurai kit because they mostly wore samurai kit, and they've got their conical hats. The samurai kit itself isn't perfect. They should have like great big rectangular pieces of armour on their thighs, but there's nothing that I can reliably use as an analogue for that in tab, so I've just sort of left them mostly bare. But they've also just got these, they blend in, but they have got some actual metal plates on their thighs. But yeah, so those are the armies that are going to be going up against each other. I'm expecting the English to win this probably. They do have the bow advantage, whilst the matchlock rifle is going to pierce a lot of through a lot of these guys. The damage penalty might mean that they can't kill as many, but then again, maybe they will. Maybe these matchlock Ashigaru will actually be pretty good, but I think they have something like a 20-second reload time now, so they're only probably going to be able to fire like once at the opening stage here, but that might be enough. You never know. But then again, I imagine that the I imagine that the English and Welsh longbowmen at the back here will just absolutely decimate the samurai because, well, the samurai, for all of their skills with the blade, they are better in combat than the English knights and units over here. For all the skills with the blade, they do not have any sort of protection against bows like the knights and all that do. In fact, actually, just in case, because I don't want the longbowmen to win this again, I'm just going to put down some bow ashigaru here as well at the back here. For the Japanese, I'm going to put down 8 bow ashigaru back there. So there's the standing of the army. The English do have a higher cost thanks to their crusaders, I think, but they do not have the numbers advantage. The Japanese look like they outnumber them by about 6 or something, and they do have a lower cost. But we'll have to see if the weight of numbers will help the Japanese troops here, or whether the English will just completely overtake them. Neither side is on a defensive stand at this point. They're both just going to collide and attack each other as per battles. So, with that said, let's get into it. So, I should imagine the matchlock ashigaru are going to fire first. Yep, in they go, and yep. Those matchlocks definitely did some damage there. Took out most of the macemen, actually. That's most of the flailmen gone, rather. Yeah, that's most of the flailmen gone. But in go the English and Welsh longbows, and yep, those are going to get some easy kills as the two lines collide. In go the Naginata samurai. Oof. Getting a bit around the flanks because they were defending the matchlock's troops, but. Well, there's no need for that. Instead, they're just going to collide. Looks like we've got a couple of dead English knights here. Yeah, one of them was struck down by a matchlock ball, actually, by the looks of it. In goes a longbowman. Oh, hits his own knight. That's definitely not what he wants. But another one does take out one of the Yuri Ashigaru instead, at least helping them out with that. In goes the Crusaders. Of course, the Crusaders are going to probably be a bit of a boon to the English, but oh, down goes 2 of the samurai to the English and Welsh longbowmen, but another one does get a kill on the knight. Gets a revenge kill there. We have got a samurai here dueling with what looks like a flailman. Yeah, and we've also got a knight here who is trying to tangle with some of the Ashigaru and samurai as well. Oof. I think he just got taken out though there by a samurai. Definitely not good. It's not looking good for the English, I do have to say. There's still quite a few samurai up. Oh, as down goes another English knight. Oh, but the samurai are definitely taking a beating here by the English and Welsh longbowmen. A group of the English have actually charged backwards here, charging towards the rear lines, going for the bow ashigaru. As the Shogun is getting involved here. He's definitely going to help out the English, but a Crusader, oh, Crusader going for a 1v1 versus the Shogun. Oof, oof. Shogun gets launched up in the air there as a knight goes for a charge, doesn't manage it. Looks like we've got 2 Crusaders here dealing with a couple of samurai. Yeah, oh, as down goes one of them, but an English knight gets struck in the back by his own longbowman again. These longbowmen, as devastating as they are, they're actually dealing a lot of damage here to the English. But it looks like, actually, the Shogun... The Shogun's not dead, he's just on the ground. Okay, that's alright then. It looks like he did manage to kill the Crusader, but oh, in goes a warrior monk, takes out an English knight. Oof. The Shogun manages to block one of the arrows, but he gets taken by another one. Definitely not looking too good for either side, if I'm perfectly honest. Down goes another English knight to his own side. And yeah, even the Crusader got hit by his own side as well, allowing this samurai to get a nice katana upcut into him. Looks like the matchlock Ashigaru are now getting shot at as well. I don't think they've actually fired again yet. They're still reloading. That's just the long reload time of these Yuri Ashigaru. Or not Yuri Ashigaru. I just said it. Matchlock Ashigaru. Yeah, they still haven't reloaded. Looks like the English that made a breakout for the bow Ashigaru have actually managed to make some headway. We've got 2 knights, a Crusader, and the King, actually, as well as a flailman, I do believe, was in here, but I could be wrong. No, I think I was just mistaken. The King goes for a nice swipe using that power. off flies a bowman. Looks like we've got a crusader still in mid. Appears to have taken down... Yeah, I think he's... Yeah. I think... Is the Shogun dead? I think the Shogun might be dead, because the Crusader's not going for him anymore. So yeah, I think the Shogun is actually dead. It looks like the Matchlock Ashigaru have actually managed to reload here, but it's a little too late, I think. In goes some more longbowmen. Oof, getting a nice shot there on a couple of the bow Ashigaru. Oof, the King's doing his best, blocking these shots from the matchlocks. We've still got a couple of Crusaders left up, and we've still got this Knight, I do believe. Yep, that Knight's still alive. The King, ooh, goes for a nice hit there. Even the King's been shot by his own longbowman. These longbowmen are deadly to their own side. Look, the Knight manages to block one of his own side's arrows there, and yeah, looks like one of the matchlock was one of the last remaining Japanese units. But there they go. Yeah, that was a bit touch and go for the English there, I do have to admit. In mid, wasn't sure if they were actually going to survive the samurai. The samurai looked like they had the upper hand, fighting the English knights, and definitely those matchlock Ashigaru definitely took out a lot of some of the English flanks right there at the beginning. As we can see, a lot of dead flailmen here. They even managed to get through to a knight as well back here, as we can see his shield, and there's his body indeed. I'm not sure quite how they managed to do that, but good on the foot soldiers, using those matchlocks pretty well, and then they reloaded right at the end. Like I said, that 50% reload time penalty definitely doesn't help them out here, as yeah, the last one got taken out by an arrow here. These English and Welsh longbowmen, yeah, they sort of did a bit of everything. They friendly fired, they killed off a lot of enemy units. They were definitely useful to the English, but at the same time, I can't imagine how many friendly fire kills there were. I think we saw at least 5 actually whilst I was looking around the battle. So I can't imagine how many more were actually killed after away from that. So, is there anyone left in the body piles? I don't think there's anyone left who's trapped. I think mostly everyone here is dead. There might be maybe 1 or 2 Englishmen trapped under here, but I thought there might have still been someone alive over here, but I don't think so. The Shogun, he did his best. I think he might have killed off a Crusader or 2, maybe a couple of Knights, but yeah, wasn't quite enough. Those longbowmen were just peppering him, and his wooden and metal armour definitely didn't help him out against the power of the English longbow. As for the remaining English units, we do have this lone Crusader over here, who I think was the sole survivor of duelling with the Shogun. He was the one who finally put pay to the Shogun. So we've got him. We've also got another Crusader here. We've obviously still got the King alive, which is good, and we've also got 1 Knight. Looks like we might have another Knight here. Yes, we do. We have got another Knight. So we've got 2 Knights of the force which went for the bow Ashigaru. Yeah, they managed to clean up over here pretty nicely, and yeah, they managed to do it without suffering a casualty, which is pretty good. And then, of course, the matchlock Ashigaru didn't have any protection against the longbowmen, and they just picked them off once the rest of the samurai were dead. But yeah, so that was a small English army versus a Japanese army, I suppose you could say. And yes, I know historical shouldn't have Crusaders going up against matchlock rifles, but I wanted an excuse to use a matchlock rifle. This would never occur in real life, so we can bend the historical rules a little bit by putting matchlocks against Crusaders from the 15th century. But there we go. So that was that. I'll thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.